to go. Um,
Shit, yeah, gotta stay in the
all
front.
right.
Yeah.
We we are we think we officially are live.
All
What's
right, all
up?
right.
What's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing today? Doc, what's going on, bro?
All is well, all is well. Today is the 256th day of Donald Trump being in office. 256 days. And
Damn.
you see how many things have changed over the time. So I just wanted everybody to know that it's 256 days. Can y'all believe that out there? That he's been president of these great United States of America.
Yo, in 256 days, he has done so much to turn our world upside down. You remember that part of in Black Panther when what's his name came and became the king after the fight. He killed Black Panther. Uh
Uh,
and then
uh,
I forgot his name. I can't remember. Killmonger.
yeah,
When Killmonger
Killmonger.
came in,
Killmonger.
he came and took the throne, and then the visual was the whole thing being flipped upside down. That's what I feel
Yeah.
like right now. It feels just like that right now.
Yeah, yeah. He's out of control. He's doing his thing, and he's trumping. Most of his executive orders are a bluff. He can't fire the people that he wants to fire all the time. His own Supreme Court keeps coming back and saying you can't do that. The stuff with the military, which is killing me. Him changing the rules, can't really do that. That has to go through Congress. But we will see how many people kiss the ring. So
Yeah,
anyway.
everybody's kissing the ring, man. Everybody's kissing the ring. I think Harvard kissed the ring. They made a deal. I don't know what the deal exactly is or what it entails. Everybody is kissing the ring. Everyone is afraid of Trump, and it's like all hell to the king. We bow down to you, Trump. We yeah, people are scared, man. And you know what's going on with ICE now in Chicago. We were just in Chicago for the last year. Last
Yeah,
year we were
right
just in
before the
Chicago
election. Yeah, we were in
for the
Chicago, and I
election.
was just there a couple of days ago because here I am in Carmel, Indiana, right now. I'm in Indianapolis in a town called Carmel. So, I live closer to Chicago than you do. But yeah,
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 you live
we were
much
we were
closer
at
to
the
Chicago
DNC.
than I do. If that'll take me like I don't know how many hours, maybe 6 hours or something like that to drive to Chicago from here. Maybe a little bit
Seven,
more,
8.
like 8, right? 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Um, Yo, man, but it's been crazy. Do you remember when Project 2025 was first spoken about during Trump's campaign, and he was like, I don't know about that stuff. Project 2025. He said
Yeah.
Project 25, he called it. He said, I don't know about Project
Right.
2025. And now that he's in office, he's been following Project 2025 almost to a T.
Yeah, he knew about it a long time ago, but I was bringing it up on our podcast and all that stuff 2 years before anybody really was talking about it. It's something from the Heritage Foundation, a nationalist Christian organization, white
Mhm.
nationalist Christian organization that wants to change. And there's people like Peter Thiel that's part of it, the guy who started PayPal, all the way to, Elon Musk and all those other people that push it through. And they got money. I mean, that's one way that a tyrant will take over. Now, a lot of people we'll talk about this on the next podcast, but he's kind of going with the same format as most tyrants and dictators have.
Yeah.
From Trump, from what's his name, from Hitler to Idi Amin to even Yasser Arafat, to a couple other people that have done it that way. But anyway, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's crazy and it's sad, man, because all of us are literally being affected. And I wonder if all the people who voted for Trump before are happy. I sent the post earlier to our group chat, and it was Godfrey, the comedian Godfrey, the African brother,
Yeah,
and he he was doing a stand up, and it was about all of the Cubans who were celebrating Trump. He said they had the Congos out. They was like, Trump, 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 Trump,
yeah,
Trump,
yeah,
Trump.
yeah. Right, right.
And then he's like, why are you doing this to me?
Yeah,
Why? I find it so comical. God bless you.
Like,
And it's just sad that we are in the place where we are at this very moment.
well, we're in a good place, man. We're not in a bad place yet. I mean, this is not like we've never been through this before, and this is Freedom Friday, and we are free to express what we have to express on these airwaves. And
For
some
now.
people can't do that. And well, we have what we have for now. Every life is lived by your minutes. Every second that goes by, man, you just have to go by minutes. You don't know what's going to happen in the future,
Now we
but
we
we're
we
on these
don't.
airwaves. You
Yeah,
know,
we are on these airwaves,
Freedom
and freedom,
Friday.
freedom, freedom, freedom of speech is definitely being targeted. Jimmy Kimball had just come back after being shut down or taken off air for maybe about a week or so, and he's back on air now. But that just goes to show a testament to the challenge of free speech. It's like if you say anything about Trump or if you say anything about Israel, there's a cutoff, where that freedom of speech is being challenged, and slowly being taken away.
Hmm. And that's in some cases. I mean, I still have hope that we still have freedom of speech and that we still have the right to say what we need to say. I think that there's no issues out there that can't be covered. I mean, from the monuments being taken down, and by the way, there's a lot of monuments that Trump is trying to remove. From the Trail of Tears to the African American Museum and Smithsonian, he's trying to take things out of that. So I mean, there's a lot of things that need to be said.
And he's also re-erecting Confederate statues, and he already did it in the military. All of those ships that he brought back.
Yeah, a few ships that he changed the name of. He didn't bring back, but he changed the name of them.
Changed the names back.
Yeah, not back. He just changed the names because they were always like the U.S. Harriet Tubman was always the U.S. Harriet Tubman, and so was the Thurgood Marshall. That was always the names that he changed back were the military bases like Fort Bragg, it was Fort Liberty, and bases like that. But the ships, they were named that, and then he changed the name because of DEI. That's what he's using that as an excuse, and so forth and so on. So it's
Yeah,
crazy.
we spoke about the last time we were on here live with the doctor. We did briefly speak about what that means or what that even looked like, what it
Right.
looks like in the military. Um, you know, you got your guy Hetzek, who is now
Excess.
Hexeth,
Excess.
right?
Right.
I mean, I don't care if I'm butchering his name,
Right.
because he doesn't deserve any kind of respect. And being in the military, if somebody came through like that with no experience, imagine you getting a general that's leading your troops about to go to war, and he has no experience. He's never been in the military before, and he's barking orders to y'all as if he knows what he's talking about, and he doesn't. And I wonder. I saw a TikTok earlier. Good morning, King. Shout out to Umar. Just checked in. I saw a TikTok earlier. There was Curtis had shared it with us, and there was a brother on there who had a full beard, and he was, joking around or doing a like a reenactment of some military brothers that are in the military, and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm not cutting my beard off. You know what? I'm taking my leave right now. I got broken toes. I got PTSD. I got all these things. I'm out, man.
He said he was going to retire.
Right,
Right.
to retire. He said, I got PTSD. What is that? 12,000 a month? Oh yeah, I'm out, man. I'll see y'all later. I'm not staying here for all this nonsense. But I wonder the effects that it's actually having on the real generals, on the real soldiers who put that time in to hear someone unqualified barking orders, the Secretary of Defense barking orders, and he has no kind of background in military at all.
Well, he has a little background. He came from RTC, and he was the head of a small, tiny unit in Guantanamo Bay. And I got an alarm going. Can you hear that alarm in the back?
Nah, I don't
It's all
know.
good. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, so he had a little. That's the only. He was in the National Guard basically, and to hear him say the things he's saying, he's not following the oath that he took, even being in the reserve, because he was basically in the National Guard reserve. So the
Mm,
oath that we took was to defend the Constitution of the United States of America. And in some cases, it's not a country, it's not a person, it's not a dictator, it's not a king, it's the Constitution. Now we are supposed to obey lawful orders, but these orders that they're putting out aren't lawful because they haven't gone through Congress to make them laws. So there's certain laws that they're putting out that are not lawful orders. Because you'll have people say, yeah, but you're still supposed to support a lawful order. I've been to court many times over my mustache in the military. There's some smokes and gunnies, which are sergeants and people in charge of platoons and divisions that
mm.
don't like the way that black males beards
Look,
and mustaches grow. Now the shaving thing is not because they don't like the way that it grows. The shaving thing is a way to show the world that we're a uniform unit, right? But at the same time, over the years, the military has gotten people, African American people, Native American people, Sikhs, everybody's in the military now in America because that's what America's about. So we're supposed to change in those ways. So one of the ways that they're trying to stop, my opinion, black men from being in the military is through the shaving situation. Black men, I've known many had shaving profiles because we get keloids in some cases. I've never had them. We get hair bumps, and you shave over them, and they create keloids, and it's unhealthy. And they're trying to take that out. That's a way. When it comes to the women and the sexual abuse, I've known 2 to 3 women that have been raped on Fort Bragg, the base itself, some brutally raped and had to come to formation the next day and not tell anybody anything. They changed the laws because of that situation. So women could be safe in the United States military, and especially when they're protecting their country. There's so many times on my base we had a guy called a gas mask rapist, and he was running around for months with a gas mask on, actually sexually abusing young women throughout the base. And he happened to be an older uh, uh, sergeant that had been on the base for years and been in the military for over 30 years.
mm.
So, with him eliminating these things, he's trying to take women, like he says, trying to take women out. Project 2025 spoke about this too, trying to take women out of the military, women out of special forces, and place them in places of servitude, which some women won't do and some black people won't do. Now, you can have your beard if you're in special forces, because when you go overseas, you have to be sometimes undercover. That's another reason why they let black men wear beards in Germany back in the day, especially during Belfast and all those times when they were shooting bombs and terrorists was trying to attack military people in the streets. So they wouldn't know that we were military men. So we were
Mm.
allowed in certain parts of Europe to wear our beards so they wouldn't know, because if they see a black man in a white country, then they know that they're United States military. They know that. So they allowed us to wear beards, but there's all types of reasons. So yes, he don't know what he's talking about, and hopefully, the Senate, Congress, somebody speaks up about it and stops this bullshit in the military with the beards in the army and the beard situation.
Yeah, and it's crazy, and I stand corrected, and thank you for clarifying that, Doc. That because he was in the military. He was a major. It says, and he was in service. He was in the army, and he was in the Iraq War.
Are you
And
reading the right thing?
I am. That's what
You
I'm.
talking about Pete Hegseth?
Yeah, Pete Hegseth. Yeah, it
I
says.
didn't know that he was in. I thought that he wasn't in the Iraq War. Was he? Does it say that?
Yeah, it says that he was in the army from 2003 until 2006, and left and came back from 2010 to 2014, and then 2019 to 2021. And he was a major, and he was in the Minnesota, actually, also the Minnesota Army. National Guard, and he was in two wars: the Iraq War and one war, Iraq War and Afghanistan. He received a Bronze Star, Commendation Medal, and a Combat Infantryman badge. So he does have some military background. To your point, and I needed to check that out to make sure that I was not speaking and saying things that were incorrect. So that's interesting to me that he's having this change of tune, and I wonder where or how he truly feels in his heart. Do you think he truly believes in all the rhetoric and things that he's saying, or do you think that he's just following orders?
Well, he's not following. It's not rhetoric. It's not when it comes to uniformity in the military. It's not really rhetoric. It's something that the military has always done. We want to look different than any other military in the world. So I don't think it's rhetoric. I think that he's not looking at the changes that's happened in the military, and he's not qualified to make those changes because even though what you read um, sounds like it's something big, he doesn't have 35 years or 40 years and sometimes decades in the military to tell mostly everybody. The average person sitting in that room with him had at least 20 years in the military,
Mm.
and he doesn't have. So him saying that's one thing. And then he went through the ROTC program. He went through college to get his rank and to do his stuff. And he wasn't in any type of heavy combat. He never had to serve amongst, in certain cases, people that look like us a lot, because people that look like us a lot of us are in artillery units, like I was, infantry units, where, especially if you're an officer, you're not connected so much to African Americans or Asian people while you're serving. So it's not rhetoric. It's just that the way he did it was wrong, knowing that the military changed, and there's reasons why it's up there. But his main thing was the Army National Guard, in Minnesota. And that doesn't qualify him for telling people what they need to do. But, it is what it is. It's what it is. We're going to see what the government does and see where it goes.
Then so it said that in the New York Times article today, it says that veterans see cost and risk in Headset's military rewind from 1990. How in 1990 you weren't still serving during that time, right? You were
Yeah,
out of the military, or you were still in?
I was in.
What was that? What was that like in 1990? You remember, like what in terms of the orders and rules that y'all had to follow? Was it as strict as all the things that he was saying the other day?
Yeah, it wasn't as strict, but you had to do your PT. It wasn't. I can't remember if it was once a year, but you had to take a test. You did have to take the test, but that test wasn't that hard to do. I mean, there was people that seemed overweight. I know my first sergeant had a big pot belly, but he could run like I don't know, he could run like 10 miles a day. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a problem with him running and doing his push-ups and working out. He was no joke. He was outrunning me.
Mm.
There was a lot of racism. There was a
In the
lot of
90s?
racism. And it's still a lot of racism, but there was a lot of racism in the military. Like I said, I had to go to court. I almost got court-martialed a couple of times because of my mustache.
But the way it
So
looks right now, was your
yeah,
mustache how?
it was the way it looks right now. So
And they had a problem with that.
yeah, because it's supposed to be from the pupils of your eye down. So like a Hitler look.
Wow.
Right. And I wasn't wearing no Hitler look, right? At that time. I wasn't doing that because I saw a couple other people that weren't doing it. And I went to court for it. I got court-martialed, almost went to jail for it. And I had JAG. JAG is the judicial part of the military. I went to
Hmm.
JAG, and JAG told me my rights. I walked up in there and I was good. I was good after a while. Um, they tried to take away my honorable discharge. They tried to do a lot, but they couldn't do it because I went to JAG, and JAG got me through. And that's one of the reasons. That's not the reason I got out, but that's one of the reasons why I said, "Come on, how much racism do I have to deal with?" My smoke was from Hickory, North Carolina, and
Wow.
my commanding at the time, my commanding captain was not married. So those are two things that you don't want in the military: is to have a
Mm.
commanding captain that's not married because he don't have nobody to go home to, so he gonna have you out in that field training all day and night. He's gonna volunteer you for the first of everything, right? First of everything. And he's gonna look at small things like mustaches and beards because he ain't got nothing else to do. So,
That's
but the military's changing. Like a gay, I knew a transgender combat soldier who she was a sniper,
mm,
and she got a letter from the government about 2 months ago saying that she needed to quit her job. She was in for 20 years. She had all her benefits, and they didn't tell her what her benefits were. But she was one of the most lethal soldiers. And I've spoke to a couple of my colleagues that they've ever met, and she's needed. There's a movie right now out that kind of depicts people like her with Zoe Saldana, a TV show. They're coming up for the second season. It's called Lioness. It's based on a true story about women in the military and the CIA.
mm.
And that's what that's kind of it's kind of sensationalized, but this is what the United States is going to lose, and how many people are going to get hurt once they get rid of women, transgender people in combat. You know, they can go deep undercover. Nobody would ever think if you're in the middle of Saudi Arabia and everybody's looking at you. You know, number one, it's illegal in Saudi Arabia to be gay or so forth, so on. Not in Saudi Arabia, it's illegal in large parts of the Middle East, in Africa, to be gay or transgender. But some of them go in with that disguise to distract the people from what they're doing in order to get the United States military, grips on certain things in those countries. They're killers. Some of them are killers. Not a lot of them. We might have 2 or 3 of them, but they don't play. And that's what we have as a strength, is our diversity. And they're trying to take that away.
Yeah, that's the strength of this country, right? It's
Yes, there's diversity.
Diversity. America wouldn't be America without diversity, without immigrants, without all of us coming together for that dream and that vision, that American dream that they are really trying to whitewash. And it's crazy. And we also have it's so much happening in the world today, right? In the U.S. and just in the world in general. And, we also have that P. Diddy trial that's coming up today. And I know how you feel about that.
That's the least. That's the least important thing that's going on in the world, man.
Yo, it is the least important, but it is very, very talked about.
Relevant, right?
It is relevant. It's relevant because it's happening today, and they are trying to give him, I think, 135 months, like 11 years. So if he ain't
gonna get it. If he gets 11 years, that's supposed to be happening like right now.
It's happening right now, literally right now. Look, they are in court.
If he didn't learn his lesson, if he come out there, if he gets no time and if he gets time served, because he did serve almost 2 years, a year. He almost served a year.
About a year.
But if he gets time served and gets out there and comes out there and starts dancing and shucking and jiving and laughing and giggling, he deserves to go right back in.
Damn. We give a brother no slack. Yeah, hey, look, I think that he had wrote to the judge and I believe the jury, just pleading, saying that he's a changed man and everything that he did is left behind in jail. And he's pleading for his life right now. Because can you imagine being a multi-millionaire, living on the yacht, jets, all that stuff, being basically I would say the number one producer in hip hop and in music, well known, and just having everything at your beck and call for all that to be completely stripped away. And this is a reminder. This is a reminder for us as Black men. We can't do what they do.
That's what I'm trying to say. So if he comes out there dancing and jiggling and all that stuff, I'm going to be like, yo, you need to go back in there because you didn't learn your lesson. Now, we worked in hospitality for combined, man. I mean, I worked in it for maybe 30 years. You worked in it for almost 40 years, right? And The reason I say that is because we've met these people. And if we didn't meet them directly, we were able to observe them in an element that nobody else has seen him. I've seen Sean Puffy Combs when he was P. Diddy. I spoke to him many times. And I've seen him during the gun case with that Jennifer Lopez and stuff. That whole gun case with Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah,
And
he
he
was
got in
staying
trouble
there
for that.
at the Granny.
No, it's not that he was staying there because he lives in New York. But what he used to do is he used to come and go to the bar and have drinks. Or he would come and sit outside and sit down. And down in Soho, if you don't have the paparazzi show up, nobody really stops and looks at him and say, "Oh,
Barbershop.
P. Diddy, oh, what's up, P. Diddy?" And they keep walking, right? New York is different than LA and all those other places. So we would be sitting out there talking, and then he would just be talking to me, and then his lawyers would come out, he would shut down, right? He would have three white old lawyers. He would shut down and tell the lawyers to wait downstairs, go upstairs to the bar, sit in the corner by himself for hours, no phone, no nothing, just looking at the ceiling. Him, who else did that? Tiger Woods did that. Go upstairs and just stare. These brothers need mental illness screening and help.
Mental health. That's it.
That's it. I've seen him cry by himself in the corner upstairs in the bar, and nobody is saying, "Are you okay? Are you all right?" I was with Tiger Woods up in the bar because his wife took his limo, and when he came down to get the limo to go to work, it wasn't there, and he was pissed. So she took the limo, and her girlfriends went on a spending spree, and he was pissed. So he went upstairs and tried to read the paper, couldn't read the paper. It was a newspaper. That was how long that was ago. He went upstairs and was trying to read the New York Times, and he couldn't do it. He balled it up and sat there, got a drink. This is at 11 o'clock in the morning. Got a drink and started crying. And this is Tiger Woods. So, you got Tiger Woods, you got Puffy. They can't do the same thing that other people do. I think they don't get it because of maybe how they were raised. Not raised, I'm sorry. Well, Puffy, yeah. Yeah, Puffy, yeah. But I don't know about Tiger. But Tiger knew back in the day when he was a kid and he was talking about golf, he was talking about how it was going to be hard for a black young man to get there. And then once he got there, all of a sudden he's not black, he's something else.
Yeah,
So
Malaysian, something like that. I
yeah,
think that's what it
something.
was.
So these brothers and sisters that go through this, man, I've seen Serena Williams go through something like getting depressed over something up there in that bar in that restaurant. Jay-Z, I've seen him come and have to book a room or book a office because the people that work for him couldn't do it because their pants were sagging off their ass. And I'm not. This is real. They would walk in there with their pants sagging off, with their hat on backwards, screaming and yelling, and they couldn't get a room in Hearts Mountain establishment, in any Hearts Mountain establishment. And then they would come down and then talk to me and say, "Yo, man, I don't know why they treating us like that." I said, "Because your pants are sagging off your butt. And you better call your boss and tell him to tell you to pull your pants up."
Yo, it's crazy the double standard that exists, man.
Yo, that's not a double standard, Donald.
It is a double standard.
No, yo, Jay-Z
I've
came.
seen-
Yo, let me say this.
on
Let
the
me
flip- go
let me
ahead,
just say this. Let me just say this. I'll let you go.
go ahead.
Jay-Z, that afternoon, and Beyonce came. Beyonce came first. And when she got out of the car, she's tall too. When she got, not tall, but she's almost my height. When she got out the car, she looked at me and she did, I'll never forget, she did what McCain's wife did. She looked at me and she said, "Is your name Martin?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Thank you." And went inside. Jay-Z came back, gave me £1, said, "Thank you," went up there and booked the room. Because he told the dude, "Yo, don't go in there looking like that." I know the double standard is double standard, but come on, man. Well,
Yeah,
you represent a business, a company, your boss.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead. Go ahead with the double standard.
I understand where you're coming from, and there is a part of me that agrees. There's a strong part of me that wants to disagree, but to your point, that is true, to an extent, because the reason why I say double standard, I mean, I've seen guys come in looking disheveled, smelling like alcohol, or smell like weed or coke or whatever, doing their thing, book a room with no problem, no questions asked. I've seen a guy come in and check in with a girl. He probably was trafficking this little girl. She looked like she was probably 14, a grown ass man. Check in, no problems, no questions asked. Yes, let me get you your room. Let me get you whatever you need. Da 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 da. And there's no sideways look. I mean, we may have discussed it at the desk with each other, but there's no one who's denying them from getting access to what it is that they're asking for. No denying whatsoever.
Yeah, a perfect example of that. Perfect example of that is Peter Tunney.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, I yeah.
Yeah, I seen him drunk. I seen him drunk. I seen him pissy drunk.
Yeah,
vomiting, the whole 9 yards. He's disgusting.
Yeah, but
I know that you.
I thought you were gonna say who do I think you were gonna say? I can't think of who it was. I lost who I was gonna say that you've seen. But you know, we've also seen Weinstein come through.
Weinstein. Yeah, Weinstein many times. That the whole case started there.
Yeah, you know, so we there is a double standard where
you're right. I agree with that.
Where you know, the color of your skin, if you're a white guy coming in there, you get a pass. It doesn't matter what the hell you're doing. You have to be breaking stuff and it has to be extreme. It's not going to be enough for your pants to be hanging off your ass and your hat backward and you walk in the spot and they be like, nah, we ain't giving you no room. That only happens to black folks. For a white dude to walk in there and be throwing up, can have coke on his nose, can have prostitutes at his side, can have probably a gun on his hip on the low, be bringing in pounds. And we know that's what I was going. We bringing in, I ain't going to spill all the tea on here, but just, you know, moving big things.
Right.
And nobody is blinking an eye, no red flags, no cops call. But when you are black, when you're brown and you're walking in an establishment, you got to be buttoned up, suit. Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, Peter Tunney is not the artist Peter Tunney. It's another Peter Tunney. So don't be hitting us back about some stuff with Peter Tunney being an artist. But anyway, go ahead. No, go ahead. I just wanted to say that.
Oh yeah, I'm just, you know, it's very different, man. You know, it's a double standard, and we should not have to always bend over and have to fold and be perfect like everybody else. I just don't agree. You know, it's messed up. It's a double standard, and it's crazy. It makes no sense. But I understand where we are, where we live.
Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, and that's the thing. That's why I said that it's not. That's why I just brought up the not, because people will look at us and say, "Oh, look at this black guy's talking about this and that." It's not the Peter Tunney, the artist. So don't call me and tell me you're talking about the artist Peter Tunney. It's not him. It's another Peter Tunney that we know. But anyway, so
who's saying that? Somebody saying that?
No, I'm just covering it just in case they think that I'm talking about the great artist that we know. But anyway.
Oh, it's a different.
Yeah, it's a different guy,
that, man. Because I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out who's the Peter Tunney you talking about.
No, it's another guy. It's the guy that used to come. He used to come in from like Europe. Anyway, he's not well known at all. But yeah, so anyway, that's one of the things that we're talking about today. You know, it's just amazing how these people just keep changing. Today, Donald, I don't know if you know, today is also when the East and the West, when the wall you got unified, when Germany got unified and the wall came down.
The Berlin Wall.
Yeah, that was very important at that time. Hopefully, they don't have a wall coming up. Today was also the day that OJ got acquitted. OJ got acquitted today. OJ, I don't know if he did it. I don't think he did it. I think he hired somebody to do it.
I don't think he did.
I think he hired somebody to do that. He's dead, right?
OJ? Nah. He didn't do it. He may have been crazy. You know, here's another thing too, man. When black folks don't want to be black no more, because he didn't want to be black. He did not. You know, they asked him, I can't remember the exact quote. I'm butchering it up right now. But he said, I know black. He said it like that, but you know, he said, I'm OJ.
That's when the Dominicans say that in New York a lot.
He said I'm OJ.
I had a brother that used to tell me that all the time. I know black. He looked blacker than me, darker than me.
Yeah, I told you about all the Latinos and Cubans that was all.
Yeah.
You know.
So today also was Chubby Checker's birthday.
Chubby
Checker. Do the twist. It was also Dave Winfield, New York Yankees, knocked him out the park. It's also, and Dave Winsfield was born in 1951, right? Chubby Checker
Yeah.
was born in 1941, right? And then you had Al Sharpton. Today is Al Sharpton's birthday.
Oh, really?
The Reverend Al, right? 1954. He was born in 1954. You know,
Yo,
he's
all
about
right.
10 years older than me. So he's 70 something. What?
And we gotta talk about this big comedy fest that's coming up.
Oh,
The
yeah, yeah,
oldest
yeah, yeah,
comedian.
yeah. Yeah, let me just finish
All
that
right, go
off.
ahead. You
So,
can finish dropping your today
yeah,
facts. Go ahead. My bad. Go ahead.
today's birthday
Yeah.
is also ASAP Rocky's birthday. ASAP
Oh,
Rocky.
that's my dude. I like ASAP, man.
Yeah, yeah. ASAP Rocky. This is his birthday today. Gwen Stefani's birthday. She had a lot to do with coming into our culture and switching our music around and really doing a great job with it. So I like Gwen Stefani. I met her. She was a client at the hotel too, man. She's a great human being, man. She always would say stuff like, "Yo, I can't believe I'm actually here, doing this." And she still says that to this day because my wife met her.
Oh
She
yeah,
comes to the museum with the kid and all that stuff back in the
she's
day.
nice. I remember meeting Pink when she first came out, man.
Yeah,
She was
Pink
cool.
was great too. Pink is great.
She stood outside and talked to us for hours.
But it ain't her
Good.
birthday. It ain't her birthday, man.
Yeah. Who else?
And then you got my man from Curacao, right? This is back in 1795. He watched the revolution in Haiti. His name is Tula. He decided to do a revolution in Curacao, and it was one of the first fights for freedom because this is Freedom Friday. First fight for freedom in Curacao in the Caribbean, right after the Haitian Revolution, and his name was Tula, Tula. So you people, I think it's Tula Rugo or Rigo, or I can't remember the name, but I know his name is Tula. And Tula, you could look it up. It's a very great story. He paid the price, but it's a great story. And it was the end of slavery, of Dutch slavery in the Caribbean. It was an important thing in history.
Oh, that's great, yo. Thank you for dropping
So,
that, man.
right. And let me throw one more thing in there.
Yeah, keep going, keep going.
We got the
What you got?
Chicago situation last night in Bronzeville, which we had gone through. We talked about this in the beginning, and how they took people. They're still looking for the people that they took. So let's pray for them. Trump has been posting racial things. He's been posting AI stuff about, which is proven, about him being like Mr. Death, him being the man of death. They have him.
Mhm.
He has himself in a cloth, and he did a racist move where he put Hakeem Jeffries, which I don't agree with his politics,
With
but he is the
the
speaker. He
sombrero
is
on
the
his
head of
head?
the House. Yeah, with the Mexican sombrero on his head.
Yep.
And they asked the Speaker of the House if that was racist, and he basically kind of agreed, but won't speak about it publicly. Mike Johnson. And
Hmm.
if you look at Mike Johnson's history, the reason why people voted him in is because he would sometimes come to the side and do the right thing, even though that he was a staunch Christian nationalist. But now he's totally on Trump's joint, constantly getting boned by Trump, and Trump is loving it and doing everything that Trump tells him to do.
He's not the only one. His whole cabinet is doing the same thing. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's horrible what he's doing because it's racist towards my Latin brothers and sisters, my Mexican brothers and sisters, and to black people all over the United States and all over the world. With him putting that sombrero and that mustache on Hakeem Jeffries on that AI tweet to the world, which was horrible. But this is what people voted in. So
Yeah, man. I mean, the Democrats, we have to do better with messaging and just fighting back, man. I just feel like there's no backbone
nope,
for the
no
Democratic
backbone.
Party right now.
Awful.
You have AOC, which was my girl. I like her a lot. Met her. She's a really incredible person. Just but politically right now, it's like, yo, the Republicans are holding no bars. They are going in all the way in every single way they can, and the Democratic Party is still, except for Mondani, he's the only one that I truly see that's standing up and representing New York, and representing the Democratic Party, because I feel like that's the kind of energy that the party needs to have. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's crazy just to see where we are right now.
Yeah.
So I wanna move on because we're not gonna be on here too long because talking about birthdays and stuff going on. My daughter's birthday is tomorrow, so
Okay. Right.
all the Libras on the chat and check us out. Libras all day, and your wife's birthday's coming up too, as well as mine, as well as my son. So I got a bunch more things to do. But real quick, I wanted to pivot to this. Yo, this comedy fest that's coming up. I believe it's called this is the Rider Comedy Festival in Saudi Arabia that's happening, and
Hmm.
everybody is not everyone, but there are a lot of big notable names going to this comedy festival out in the Middle East in Saudi Arabia, and it's causing controversy and conflict because a lot of the comedians who are going used to be or were against any against the liberties of people, civil liberties of people in Saudi Arabia. If you remember about 5 years ago, that reporter, um, uh, rest his soul, I don't remember his name, but he got chopped up and put in a suitcase in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Women don't have
Not the
any
reporter, the
rights.
journalist, the
The
journalist that,
journalists,
yeah,
yeah, the
yeah.
journalists. Women don't have any rights in Saudi Arabia. And to see Dave Chappelle go out there, who's also a Muslim. You got, it's Dave Chappelle. You got Bill Burr. You got Kevin Hart. You have all of these big name comedians going to Saudi Arabia, and I wonder. It raises the question to how much money are you willing to make to turn the other way? You know what I'm saying? Like there's that statement where if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. And I feel like people are just, taking the money and turning their head. People who used to be like, yo, we are about civil rights and liberties for everyone. And it does not seem like that's the case right now. You know, I was surprised to see Dave Chappelle and Bill Burr to say yes to doing this show. Um, and I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's been another topic of conversation that people are discussing, and some comedians are outraged. Maybe I don't know if they outraged that they weren't able to go or they didn't receive the invite, or if it's something that's more real, especially in the time that we're living in right now. It's like, yo, why are y'all going to a country where they didn't even want any American to come perform or do anything in the first place? But then secondly, it's like, yo, what do you stand for? And the other thing is that the Saudis, man, they are buying up American entertainment. We got the WWE there, we got UFC there now, we got boxing going there, now it's comedy. And they're paying millions of dollars to these entertainers to go out there and perform. And I wonder, where is the moral compass? Does it not matter anymore?
You just want to know if it matters anymore. Number one, they're all comedians, and you can't take anything that they say or do seriously. Number two, I want to hear if they're going to use the N word out there. I
Well,
want to know if they're going to use the N word.
you should be asking Dave about that. You could send him a message and say, "Yo, you gonna do that out there?"
No, he's been out there. He's been out there so far. He's been out there with his wife, I think, for almost a month now.
Oh, he's there now.
Yeah, he's been out there. He's been out there. He likes to go to places and like feel the place out. So he's been out there. Him and his wife and his family have been out there for a while. Um,
I don't know that.
I just think that Elaine, his wife Elaine, is always sending messages to people about things like that, and she's very strong on the whole thing with Gaza and
Mm,
everything like that. Um, Number one, yeah, it's probably the money. Number two, I think that Saudi Arabia is trying to make its people like come into the Western world more. So they're trying to do it through that way. Most dictators and most tyrants do stuff like that. You know, I'm looking at I'm reading a doc. I'm watching a documentary about tyrants. It's about 10 tyrants and how they came to power. You know, and how they did it. And this is some of the reasons how the way they do it. But I think that the reason why Dave went, and I may be wrong, is to make a point and to show something. I think that Bill Burr went because he said on the news one time is that he's never experienced something like that before, and he wants to experience that. But I think Dave has a plan. I don't know what that plan is. I don't know what's going to get him. I don't know what's going to happen. But I don't think that he's going in there blind because he's a very educated guy
Smart, yeah.
and he's going in there for a reason. That's what I think. I may be wrong.
Well, he told the New York Times yesterday that he said his quote was, "Right now in America, they say that if you talk about Charlie Kirk, that you'll get canceled." He also said that he doesn't know if it's true, but he's going to find out. And he said it's easier to talk here than it is in America. And this is a quote according to the New York Times that he said.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to your point, maybe he does have another plan because he is a very, very smart man. You know, and I'm trying to remember the other Indian comedian who I think is gay. That's going out there. Is it his name is Aziz?
Yeah, you mean the Indian brother? Yeah, he's
Yeah,
funny too. I love him, man. He's funny as hell. But I didn't know he was gay, but he's funny.
yeah, he's going out there. I think he lives out in Brooklyn too.
Yeah, I've seen him over there in Brooklyn.
Yeah, he lives out in Brooklyn. He may live in Fort Greene. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, man, this is just, you know, the forever changing world. Something that I wanted to say to you too is, you know, the other day where I live, there's a school not too far from here. I think it's Benjamin Banneker or something. And when the kids get out of school, they just go crazy. Like the other day, I was in my apartment and I can hear them screaming and carrying on all on the corner of where I live, right by a subway, and they're just going wild. And this is junior high school. They playing CeeLo on the wall. I'm like, yo, all black kids, and I'm like,
right.
This is just crazy, man. Like, there's something that needs to be done about what's going on and how.
Well, you think Trump should bring the National Guard in there?
Nah, I'm never saying that. I am never saying that. I don't think the National Guard. I think there's the responsibility of the school and the parents. You know, not of the National Guard.
Right.
But yeah, we'll get into that another time. But I want to thank whoever. Is there anything else that you want to bring up?
No, we just want to thank the people who have watched us and joined us, and we want to thank everyone for continuing to follow us. I mean, last night I was at an event, junior achievement event in Indianapolis, and I walked up to 3 or 4 people that actually loved what we talk about. So it was great to hear that. We need to be on the airwaves more, and we will be. We are coming up. Our toy drive is coming up soon. We're going to start posting really soon. I guess we'll start working on that tomorrow, actually, to pull stuff up. Because I've seen people posting for their toy drives already around the United States, so we need to do ours.
Yeah, we
And
definitely
that's
need to
about it.
start posting.
And that's it. And then, you know, our GoFundMe, I think it was 7D. What was it again? That you, not our GoFundMe, but our Cash App?
Cash App. I didn't post it up here, but I can add it onto here. I got to figure out to change the name, y'all. So when you see it, you know, it is us. Let me put it in here now so that way it stays in the video.
Yeah, and the reason we're raising money is the reason we do these podcasts is to inspire, influence, and educate. But we also use this platform to actually feed and bring people joy throughout New York and the Bronx, and hopefully out here in Indianapolis really, really soon. So that's why we do what we do.
So before we get off, let me just add it in here so that way you all can see it. So our Cash App is RSL, and wait, let me make sure I write in Cash App. RSL, and it is $. LD7G. So you guys can, if you want to, we as you guys know,
All right, let me
obviously.
say it. Let me say it. If you want to donate any type of money or any type of in-kind donation, meaning that if you want to show up, you can hit us up on our emails. You can tap into our Instagrams and find out if you have time to come out and help us out. If not, please donate. You can donate $1. You can donate $5,000. But we would really love to continue to do the work that we do in the Castle Hill section of the Bronx and around in the United States. We wanted to grow. So the reason why we do these podcasts and we talk about these things on air is to raise money. We will be doing some small events after this, maybe in the wintertime, here in Indianapolis and in New York. I got so much feedback last night on how to raise money at the Junior Achievement. It was just amazing that, some people, I do have to say this about other people out there that raise money for their nonprofits. Please don't think that you have to have a big gala or that you have a lot of people coming through, that you have to sell the tables for $5,000 to $6,000 a table. You don't have to. That's not what you have to do. One of the things that you can do is like maybe go in front of a busy place, a Walmart or a CVS or something, and just hand out a flyer with a QR code saying what you do. And you'd be surprised how many people donate to you and they don't even know who you are. Or just shoot a film and put a QR code on the bottom of that little tiny film or that little fundraising thing. And you'd be surprised how much money comes your way. Or get somebody to give you free Twinkies from the hostess company. And actually, with those Twinkies that you're giving out, give out QR codes or some way to get in contact with you to raise money. That's what Pure Quality is Dana's, my friend Dana, who was on yesterday's company. But that's what RSL and Pure Quality, her company, are going to do in the near future.
Yeah, for sure. And like Martin said, again, thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all of you who listen and follow us. And so we will be back again very soon. Keep supporting, be safe out there, and
blessings.
You want to say?
Blessings.
All right, blessings.
All right, later.